All right, here we go. We're going for a free copy feedback right now. If you are interested in getting your copy reviewed, submit a Google Doc link in the comments below, or if you have a published somewhere else, some other link, put it there. But the easiest thing is just a Google Doc link. Put it in the comments, put your copy there, and I'm going to give you feedback. So you're going to get today free copywriting feedback from a 10K month copywriter. So put that copy in the comments now. We're going to wait for some people to get online and tune in. Here we go. Here we go. Here we are. Okay, guys. What's up, everybody? Everybody tuning in live. Let's hit it. I'm going to review your copy. So you got me for 45 minutes today. I'm going to try to get through at least like ideally 5 to 10 pieces of copy. I don't know for sure how many we're going to get through. But this is normally something I reserve for my one-on-one coaching students. So as somebody who's made over $630,000 in profit as a copywriter for the past few years, I'm a 10K month copywriter. And normally this is thousands of dollars. People will pay me to review their copy in my one-on-one coaching. You get me for free today. So first come, first serve. Whoever puts your copywriting in the comments below, you're going to get your copy reviewed live right now. I'm going to put it on the screen. We're going to break it down line by line. I'm going to tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what to improve, maybe for like a couple minutes. So depending on how big the piece of copy is, I'll review it for like 3, 4, 5 minutes max. And then we'll go on to the next one. You got me for 45 minutes. So whoever wants their copy reviewed, this was a request I had a couple live streams ago, is that someone's like, hey, could you do like live copy feedback for us? Like, that would be so awesome. So here I am. Whoever wants your copy reviewed, put in the comments. If you're too shy for whatever reason to put your copy in the comments, like feel free to just like ask me any question. So consider this an ask me anything. If you don't want to put your copy in, or you're scared, or you just want to watch other people's stuff, that's fine too. But this is your chance to get your copy reviewed. I'm going to just go break it down line by line. So whoever wants it reviewed, first come, first serve. Here we go. If you don't want to put your copy in, that's fine. You can just ask me a question about building a freelance copywriting business up to 10K a month. So if you're curious about copywriting, what the heck is copywriting? What's freelance copywriting? How to get started? How do you get better as a copywriter? How do you land your first client? You can ask a question too if you want instead. My favorite industry to write copy for. So that's a great question. I love talking about marketing and businesses and business growth. So, even from the beginning, one of my favorite things to write copy for is like business opportunity. I think overall, I'd probably say that like, it's not so much an industry I like writing for, but it's a style of copy, and it's the business model I like writing for. I like writing for information products. I think it's super fun. I think writing about coaching, courses, consulting, events, community, giving people knowledge to gain access to information, I really enjoy it. So anything with information products. So that could be like business opportunity, making money online, fitness coaching. This could be like even like the dating niche. That's something that nobody ever rarely like writes copy about when they enter my programs and stuff. But that kind of stuff, it's super fun to me. I could write about anything with info all day long. Okay, we got our first piece of copy here. I'm actually just keep this on there, and I'm going to, let's see how I can copy and paste this the best way. So give me a second with the tech here. I need to figure out how to, you know what? We might have to get you to email it to me. This is my first time doing this, by the way, with the live stream, so bear with me. I'm going to pull up, actually, let's see if I can pull up your copy from X right out of the gate, because that's where you commented from. But yeah, if you want your copy reviewed, send the Google Doc link in the comments. Make sure the Google Doc link actually has sharing ability. So click share access and make it so anybody can view the link before you put it in the comments. That way I can actually open it and put it on the screen and review it. Okay, let me just pull up your copy here. So if you want your copy reviewed, send the link now in the comments below, and I will review it for free, which is something people normally pay me thousands of dollars for. So put it in to the comments right now, and I'll give you free feedback on your copy. Okay, so we're just loading up this copy here. Just give me a second. Okay, here we go. So put the link to your copy in the comments below, and we're going to review it live here. Okay, here we go. Just bear with me, just pulling this up. Okay. Interesting, it's not showing the comment from Twitter. We might have to do, yeah, that's bizarre that's not showing that. Might have to get you guys to email me it. Okay, let's do that. Tammy, send me an email with your copy. Thank you guys for bearing with me. First time figuring this out. How do I can't click on a link. I can't click on a link as the comments are going through. I'm using StreamYard to stream to 3Place right now. So you sent me the link. I figured I'd be able to even copy paste it. I can't even copy paste that thing. I don't even know how to do this. So just email it. Email me the copy. That's gonna be the easiest thing, I think. You could also DM me the link. I think that'd be fine too. So if you're on Twitter, Tammy, you can just DM me the link, and that'll work. So if you guys are on LinkedIn or Twitter, DM me the copy. DM me a link to your copy. If you're on YouTube, email me, brandon@storycopywriting.com, and just fire off your Google Doc link in there. Okay, let's see if this pops up now. So Tammy, send me the link in the DMs on Twitter or email me. And I'm going to throw it up on the screen. In the meantime, I'll answer your question, Nick, here. When you do free work for a small client in the beginning, do you just rely on them to tell you if you're getting them results? How do you quantify the value to deliver for those first few clients? Yeah, great question. You want to make sure you find out what the results of your copy are. Like, this is crucial. No matter what you got to do, just right from the beginning, when you're first onboarding a client, just be like, okay, so we're going to write this copy for you. The goal is to make sure it generates revenue. So how do you track the results of your copy right now? So like, you just find out what they use to track things. If they're an e-commerce brand, this is like automatically built in with Klaviyo and Shopify. You write an email, you're going to see the revenue instantly in Klaviyo. So you just need to say, hey, yeah, cool. Can you give me access to Klaviyo account so I can track the results? You can make me a non-admin user, and so I can track everything. So that's totally fine to do. Just ask. Hey, ask for access to the tracking, just so you can see the results, so you can make sure to improve it and make sure it's going well. If they don't feel comfortable giving you the software, like a login to go track the results, that's would be weird. But I haven't had that in too many cases where they're like, I'm not giving you login access to look at our data. Like, if you land them the right way, they're going to give you access to the software just to be able to see what the numbers are. And if they don't, the other option is like, just get them to send you the data at the end of the month. If they want to give you a screenshot, a report, whatever they want to do, if they just want to manually tell you the results, like ideally you have access to the raw data in the back end of the software when you are tracking that. So, okay, let's see here. Tammy, you said you DM me. Okay, cool. I see your DM here, Tammy. So let's pull this up on the screen. All right. Okay, let's make sure. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can put this up on the screen somehow. let's see if I can do this. Present. We're gonna present, and then we're gonna review some copy. And you got me for 35 more minutes. So share screen. Here we go. let's just do entire screen, make it easy. And present. Add to stage. Okay, and hopefully you guys can see this. Maybe I'll actually just show. Maybe that'll work. Hopefully you guys can see this. So we're going to go through your copy here and see how this looks. I'm going to break down your copy line by line. We're going to go through for a couple minutes. This is definitely a larger piece of copy, but that should be fine. Let me just see what this actually looks like on the screen. You guys can actually see the copy and everything on here. All right, so it looks fine. Okay, so we're going to go through and let's hit it up. Okay, so Tammy, so I'm just going to go through. I don't know if this is an email, a sales page. I don't know who your audience is. I don't know anything about this. So we're just going to dive in, and I'm going to give you advice based on not knowing much, but we're just going to go for it. So first things first, for this piece of copy is like, where's your headline? Whether this is an email or a sales page or an ad, like the first thing I want to see, if you're going to give me copy and if you're going to send it off to a client, write the headline. Your headline is the most important part of your copy. If you don't have a headline, you're screwed up, basically. Unless you're using this as a long form on like a long form social media post on LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, threads, like you need a headline. So put a headline on here when you're doing your copy. I don't know what you're talking about right out of the gate, and you're not going to hook people usually without a headline. So if this is for a sales page, we need a headline. If this is for an ad, we need a headline. If this is for an email, we need a subject line and a preview text. So put that subject line and preview text here. That's the first thing. So I even know what you're talking about. Otherwise, you're going to lose me, right? I think it was David Ogilvy who said like 80 cents of your advertising dollar is spent on the headline. So get it right. So that's the first thing I would say, like you need to add that thing in here, whatever this is. But let's just dive into your copy and see how it goes. So most people have 150,000 hairs on their head. Interesting stat. That's more than a packed football stadium. But if you're losing 500 strands a day, like many men over 35, you go from full head to physically balding within a year. It starts with a receding hairline that slowly progresses into full hair loss. The worst part is most men won't notice until they're lost 50% of their hair. That's 75,000 strands gone. Hey, Tammy, I see you in here now. Okay, so I think something you're doing right in your copy right out of the gate is you're putting in some interesting facts. So you really, when it comes to, let's just say following the AIDA formula, attention, interest, desire, action, you're kind of starting this piece of copy with the I, interest. You're piquing my interest based off interesting facts and stats and stuff like that within the industry. So you do a really good job of putting in numbers. Numbers can be really effective, especially in the first couple sentences, just to capture people's interest and like get them curious about what you have to say. But what's missing here right out of the gate is attention. Like, did you really capture my attention by saying there's 150,000 hairs on my head? I don't know. Like, I think you need a better hook, a stronger hook. And ideally, like, if you're ever unsure, because you're going great with like the stats here, but you're skipping a step. That's what I'm seeing in your copy right out of the gate is like, you never hooked me to begin with. But if you were to have a good hook on here and you put this part as part 2, attention, interest, this is the interest section, desire, action, AIDA, which is the formula Gary Halbert literally taught his son and told everybody to use. The guy who made $1 billion of copy, hint, hint, listen to Gary. He's the GOAT. He said, follow this formula. It works every time. So you're following this to some degree. It just, you miss step 1, which is attention. And if you don't capture attention, it doesn't matter what you wrote in the rest of your copy. You're screwed. So let's capture people's attention here. One of the easiest ways to capture attention and hook people, a call out. If you're ever unsure of how to start a piece of copy, give a call out. What's a call out? A call out is where you literally say, hey, are you this person? Is this your identity? Hey, are you a man who's over 35, right? That's who you're talking about here. Men over 35. Sometimes it's men under 35. I'm 32. My hairline starting to recede. This is me you're talking to, so I can definitely resonate with everything you're saying here, and I can tell you whether it's just from a personal perspective, whether it's good copy or not too. If it's hitting me, did you hook me? No, you didn't hook me with 150,000 hairs on my head. Could you have hooked me though? Like, hey, are you a dude who's like in your mid-30s, almost middle-aged? If you give a call out, just call out the identity of who you're talking to. Hey, are you a single mom in her 20s? Hey, are you like a man in your mid-30s who's about to be middle-aged? Hey, are you like in your 60s, a baby boomer and whatever? Like, go after the call out. If you're ever unsure of how to capture attention, it's the easiest thing to start with. If you're ever unsure, as a fallback. And then if you want to take your call out to the next level, if you're unsure how to start a hook or a headline even, take your call out and combine it with the pain point or the problem. So this is where the formula problem, agitate, solution comes in really well. PAS is just introducing people to the problem they already have. One of the easiest ways to start cracking them open. Not only does it capture attention, but it starts to open them up to being open to the possibility of pulling out their credit card and swiping and buying something. So for your sake, easiest way to start your copy, you started with interest. We want to start with attention. One way you can start is, are you a male in your mid-30s and you're about to be middle-aged? Like, very simple. Are you a man in your mid-30s? And you're noticing that you're starting to lose your hair on top of your head, and you're noticing that you're starting to go bald. Are you noticing your hairline receding? Call out problem they're facing. Easiest way to hook, easiest way to start any piece of copy, and it captures attention. Why does it capture attention? Because any man in their mid-30s who sees you saying, are you a man in your mid-30s? They're going to be like, yes, I am a man in my mid-30s. And if you say, are you noticing your hairline starting to recede? And if that's true for them, if their hairline's great, this is where they stop paying attention. But for the guys who do have this problem, who are a male in their mid-30s, who do have this problem, guess what? You just caught their attention, and now you've kept their attention. You pulled them into the first line of copy, now you pulled them into the second line. So that's how we need to start your piece of copy, is just use a better hook, capture attention more, and then go into the interesting facts and stats and all these things and losing 50% of your hair and 500 strands and all that stuff. That stuff's intriguing, but it's not going to hook me. You need a stronger hook. So that's what I do to improve your piece of copy right out of the gate. Hey, are you a man in your mid-30s? Are you noticing that your hairline's starting to recede? Boom. The goal with your headline, which you don't have here, you need a headline. The goal with your headline is to get them to read the first line of copy in your body, which you have here, the first line of body copy. The goal of the body copy, the first line, is to read the second line, to read the third line, to read the fourth line. So that the time they get to the fourth or fifth line, you've now got them down the slippery slope, all the way to the call to action. So for your sake, add that first line in, make it a stronger hook. Use a call it if you're not sure what to start with. For line 2, use a pain point. Introduce that. Call it with the identity, pain point what that identity is associated with. So then you can go into this third line. So by the time you get to this third line, you've got them. They're in this now. And now you've gone from attention to interest, and now we can move on from there. So I'm not going to go through every single line by line of this because I literally have 27 minutes left and I've already spent 6-7 minutes, but it's very crucial. It's very crucial you get the beginning of your copy right. It is the most important part of your copy. So make sure to do that. By the way, if you guys want your copy reviewed, I'm still going through Tammy's, but email me, Brandon@storycopywriting.com, and just send me a Google Doc link just like this. That's totally fine. Or DM me. If you're on Twitter or LinkedIn, DM me the link to your copy, and I'll review it after Tammy. Okay, so let's say we did a call out there. Hey, are you a man in your mid-30s and you're noticing that your hairline's starting to recede? Well, like, you literally could just say, well, ... Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. Well, ... Most people have 150,000 hairs in their head, more than a packed football stadium. Maybe this part put in parentheses, just because it's like, just put it there. But if you're losing 500 strands a day, like many men over 35, you could go from full head to visibly balding within, I would just say within a matter of months. It starts with a receding hairline that slowly progresses into full hair loss. I would even say here something like, at first you're losing just a couple strands of hair here and there, but before you know it, like you've progressed into full hair loss, like in under a year. The worst part is most men won't notice it until they've lost 50% of their hair. At this point, I think we're done with the hair strands. Like, you've talked enough about 150,000, 500. Like, the strands of hair, you've got me on the saddle already. I would just remove this. The worst part is most men won't notice until they lost 50% of hair, which means it's now too late. So ideally, what your product is going to offer people is like people who have started to lose 50%, you can stop and start preventing it, if that's what your product is. And so we want to remove this line and then get right into it. Is like, so if you would literally say, so if you still like are starting to lose your hair, but like now's the time to stop it before you go full on bald, before you go full on Mr. Clean. So this is where you could like even incorporate like imagery, show people, let people feel the imagery of what's happening, right? People need to visualize stuff with your copy. So losing 50% of your hair, well, what does that look like? Well, give me an example. What's an example everybody knows? I don't know. Think about who's like a famous bald guy. The first thing that came to my mind was the brand ambassador for Mr. Clean company. Mr. Clean, some big bald guy. So unless you want to wait, so I would say in the copy, unless you want to start looking like Mr. Clean in the next few months, like, thankfully, there's a way out. Like, if you don't want to look like Mr. Clean, then you need to start taking action right now. The good news is there's now a 20-second routine that can stop this. So this is good. You've introduced the problem. You've gone into agitation a little bit, and now we're getting to the solution. Simultaneously, you're actually following two frameworks here. Now that we have attention at the call out at the top, we go into the interest. Now we can start to build desire. And desire for somebody who's losing their hair starts with going into that pain point. You're not here to give them a want, to solve a want. You're here to solve an apparent need, that they feel insecure and insignificant, and they don't feel very confident. That's something you could even tap into more here if you wanted to, even before you say like there's a 20-second routine that can stop this. It's like, hey, if you probably still feel like you're 20 years old, but like for some reason you look like you're 50. Well, if you don't want to feel that way anymore when you go to the beach, or you maybe not go to the beach, but like whatever, and you don't want to feel like you have to hide your receding hairline under a hat like a little kid, thankfully there's a 20-second routine that can stop this. So I'm gonna stop the piece of copy there because I've been going at it for about 10 minutes just because there's more people submitting copy. But those are some things that in your copy right out of the gate. Start fixing that. I can see your writing overall is like pretty decent and it flows pretty well. Your sentence length, the structure, visually looks pretty solid. One thing I'll say is try to put a couple bullet points in here. Somewhere like before and after picture will help break up the copy. That's funny. This is Brandon. But what we want to do is try to add a bit more visual breaks here. So like give me like a bullet point list. And this could be even something like maybe, you don't want to wear a hat and you cover your balding head with a hat and you're more like a little kid. Maybe you don't want to look like you're 50 years old, like when you feel like you're 20, and maybe like you feel insecure and XYZ, like, and you're scared of the way girls are looking at you now or something. Like, but give a bullet point, boom, boom, boom list. It helps break up the copy visually. Even if you're using shorter sentences and like changing the sentence structure that you're using, which you're doing a good job of, I still want to see more breakups here. Another way to do this is with a subheader. But overall, Tammy, pretty solid copy so far. Main thing being get the headline in there, get a better hook, and your copy's going to convert better. Okay, so let's go to myself stage and go to the next one. Okay, it's a VSL. Now I'm seeing your comment here. Yeah, so even if it's a VSL, like the 150,000 thing, like if you don't capture people in those first few seconds, like you're screwed. Could you hook somebody with, hey, there's 150,000 hairs on your head? It's like, maybe that could work. But like, one thing that I like to tell people with their copy is like, and try to teach is like, there's like, you don't need to be the next big idea generator. You don't need to be next Gary Halbert and come up with like the craziest, most unique, mysterious fact in the world to go hook people. Like, start with what works. It's okay to do boring copy that uses frameworks and formulas and is scientifically proven to follow the way people think about things. You're tapping into consumer psychology. It's okay to reuse stuff that's boring that works, like callouts. It's okay to do that. It works. Do what's proven. Do the thing that's like clear copy that's like proven to convert. And then once you get that stuff down with frameworks, after that, sure, go tap into your creativity and uniqueness and do whatever you want in that way. But make sure you're getting that hook super strong, and like just do stuff that you know works. Like go do what works and then get creative after. Make sure your copy's clear. Make sure it follows frameworks. Make sure you're actually getting attention, and use things that other people are using. Go swipe people's other stuff, and it works. Keep sending me copy. You guys can DM me through Twitter DMs. Send me some copy. Send me a link to Google Doc. You can email me, brandon@storycopywriting.com, and send me some copy, and I'll review it live. In the meantime, Marwin asks, how long does it usually take for someone to start earning a decent monthly income from copywriting? Depends on whether you suck at writing copy or not. Depends on if you know how to land clients or not. Some people, it'll be a few weeks. Some people, it'll be 2 years. So how long does it take for someone to start earning decent monthly income from copywriting? If you're writing copy every day, you're reading copywriting books every day, you're investing in courses and coaching, and you're spending at least like 1 to 2 hours per day working on your craft, like from scratch as a beginner, you should be ready to land clients in 30 days. Now, what's typical if you're putting that kind of effort into copywriting and that kind of investment into copywriting, you should be getting at least your first $1,000 a month within 2 to 3 months. Like if that's not happening as a new copywriter, there's a problem. You're either not putting enough effort in, you're following bad advice on how to write copy, and you're following bad advice on how to land clients. Like realistically, like within 2 to 3 months, you should be landing at least your first couple of clients and making at least $1,000 a month. Now, if you've been in the game for 6+ months and you're like not making much money at $500 or less, or you've never landed a client, you're doing something wrong. Like this skill does not take long to learn to get good enough to land clients. Yes, it takes years to master and to become like a master copywriter who like can make copy convert and get people results really easily. But like you can go from not knowing nothing to within 30 days of practicing, learning, reading the books and doing anything, and if you get courses and coaching, you're going to move the fastest. Within 30 days, you can go from knowing nothing about copywriting to being ready to land clients, to being better than 95% of business owners at writing copy. And all it takes to land a client is this is the litmus test. How do you know when you're ready to land clients? When your copy converts better than theirs. And the way to test that is go look at a business owner's copy, go look at a website, an email, an ad, go look at the copy of the person you want to outreach to and land as a client. If you cannot confidently say that you could write better copy than that and get better results, you're not ready to land clients. And if you could say, I can for sure write better copy, I can already see their headline needs work because of this. Their call to action, they're getting too many. Their social proof isn't enough. They don't have enough urgency and scarcity, X, Y, Z, boom, 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 boom. If you aren't seeing these things very quickly when you're looking at copy, you're not ready to land clients. But you can do this in a few weeks. In a few weeks, like business owners aren't reading copywriting books. They're not taking the time to learn this stuff. They're just getting enough communication out there to sell their stuff. If you're learning for a few weeks, you should be able to be good enough to land clients to spot all these things. You read Adweek Copywriting Handbook by Joseph Sugarman every day for like 15 to 20 minutes, and you spend an hour to 2 hours a day writing copy and practicing and going through courses and coaching, you're going to be ready to land clients in a few weeks. And if you're doing that consistently, you're spending the time, wake up early before work or university, and actually like learning the thing, writing the thing, and outreaching. Learning, writing, outreaching. It's simple. Learn, write, outreach. You're going to start making money quick. You're going to start landing clients quick. The average person who treats copywriting like that, like a real business, should be making at least $1,000 a month within like 1 to 3 months. Like it should not take long. You should be at a full-time income within 3 to 6 months if you're treating copywriting like that. I personally got my first client in 6 weeks. I quit my job in 3 months. I got my first $5,000 a month in 7 months. I got my first $9,000 a month in 12 months. I built a 6-figure income from copywriting in 1 year. And I made so many stupid mistakes in my first year, despite getting those fast results. So if me, who made a ton of dumb mistakes my first year, was able to get those kinds of results, getting to $9,000 a month, making 6 figures per year as a copywriter, from knowing nothing to within 12 months making $9K a month, quitting my job, moving halfway around the world. My wife quits her job, and having more free time and flexibility than ever. If I can do it, despite doing a ton of dumb stuff along the way, my goodness, how much easier it is to build this thing up to 6 figures now than ever before. It's insane. So I'll just say this, If you've been learning copywriting for over 3 months and you still don't have a client and you're still not making $1,000 a month, something is seriously wrong with what you're doing, and you're doing the wrong thing. And you need to change what you're doing because what you're doing isn't working. So it's either the way you're learning copy is the wrong way, the way you're learning how to outreach is the wrong way, or you're simply not doing enough and you're too inconsistent. That's all it comes down to. Ask yourself, look yourself in the mirror. Am I making money after 3 months of learning? No? Okay, then clearly I'm doing something wrong in one of these areas. And if you're doing something wrong, go figure out the right way to do it. Go follow a proven path to do it. If you still can't figure out how to write copy and you're not going to convert better than the business owner you reach out to, go buy my course. It's $22. It'll teach you how to write copy so you're good enough to land clients within 30 days. It's at my link in bio on every platform. $22, 365-day money-back guarantee. If your copy's all right, but you have no clue how to land clients and sending hundreds of cold DMs and emails all day and all that stuff isn't working for you because it doesn't work that well anymore because that outreach method is outdated, then go apply for my coaching. I'll work one-on-one with you to go outreach and get your first client in 30 days. 70% of my students get their first paid client in 30 days. So if you don't want to wait 3 months, 6 months, 12 months to figure this out and you want to move fast, that's the way to do it. Follow a proven writing method, follow a proven outreach method, and do more consistently, and you're going to win. So keep sending me copy. Guys, you can send it in the DMs. You can send it to Brandon@storycopywriting.com. I'm just going to put this back on the screen. Where is my comment? There it is. There we go. If you want your copy reviewed live right now, we are going to do that. So DM me your copy, email me your copy. I'm just going to check my email right now quickly and pull up the next piece of copy. Thank you guys for being on with me right now. This is super fun for me. Yeah, I normally charge thousands of dollars to review copy with my one-on-one coaching. You get me for free right now. So if you want your copy, feedback on your copy to know if you're doing the right thing, if you want to assess your copywriting level, now's the time. Okay, we got a couple more here. I'm just going to pull up a couple pieces here. Where is it? Okay, one from Nick. Thank you, Nick. I got your copy. I'm going to open it up here. And I think Steven, you sent me one as well. Just going to pull it up. Okay, so we're going to pull up those pieces here, and then I'm going to close my emails so you guys don't see personal information. And then I'll pull this up here. Okay. Okay, let's add this to stage and dive in. Trey sent yours first, so we're going to do yours. Okay. Okay, so Trey, and we got dating copy. I literally was just saying, like, a lot of people aren't. It seems like the relationship niche is like huge money in this. Like anything to do with relationships, dating, marriage counseling, all that kind of stuff. Big money. People spend a lot of money on relationships. So I would say in the third order next to health and wellness, money, then relationships. So the big three. So let's dive into this. So, okay. So this is Trey copy 44 trigger bean. Okay, cool. So I don't know if you said this was an email or what this is. You're saying DM me the word bean. So if you're saying DM me, I'm going to guess that you're going to put this on social media. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be saying DM me. I guess this could be a sales page technically, but okay, let's get into it. So this is 99% of dating advice misses this one thing. All right, so this is the headline. You can clarify whether this is a sales page or an email, but I'll just give generic advice because you didn't specify what kind of copy it is. Headline, 99% of dating advice misses this one thing. I'd say this headline's pretty decent. I'd say it's definitely like, it's curiosity driven. I like how you're incorporating numbers. If you're ever unsure, like putting numbers in a headline helps capture attention and it helps build intrigue right out of the gate. Going into like talking about the pain point of like dating specifically, if people are struggling to get dates, and I see you're clearly talking about like dudes who are trying to get dates with girls. Yeah, it's pretty good. 99% of dating advice miss this one thing. What I would say is if this is a subject line, I want to see a preview text following up on this hook where you actually imply an outcome. So you can hook people with a headline that's like very curiosity driven and with just this alone, and that could do decent. But what I found works really well is if you're doing a sales page, you have this as your main headline, this curiosity driven headline, or you have a subject line, which is a curiosity driven subject line, but you have a preview text that like clearly taps into what they're going to get out of reading this thing right now. So you did a good thing here by focusing on the negative. Negative hooks work really well. 99% of dating advice misses this one thing. So it's implying that like you probably heard some dating advice, but you're missing a secret thing and it's keep holding you back. If you clearly tell people what they're missing or like what they need to get out of this, the outcome of reading this thing, you're going to hook more people. So say 99% of dating advice misses this one thing. Read this if you want to land your first date this month. Read this to get your first date in the next 7 days. Like at the end of the day, you always need to think about in your copy, what is the thing they actually want? Like, what is the thing they want? What is the outcome? What is the transformation? What is the thing, the product and the services and all the things they spend money on? All these things is just a mirage. It's just the connection between where they are and the life they want to live. So always think about that in your copy. So what I would do with this headline, if this is a sales page, the sales page headline, sure, we can keep it just as is, but I want to add a sub headline. So headline is 99% of dating advice misses this one thing. Read this if you want to get your first date in the next 7 days. Or you could take it up a notch. Read this if you want to land a 10 out of 10 on a date in the next 7 days. That right there is like all of a sudden you're telling people, if you read this, you will have this outcome. So it hooks people with the curiosity headline like you did, but it follows up with that by making it so clear the outcome they're going to get by reading this piece of copy. And I would do the same thing with if this is an email. So I'd be doing this as the subject line. That's totally fine. The preview text, which is right beside the email, right here, if you're on desktop, or right here under if you're on mobile, depending on what Gmail or whatever. The subheadline or the preview text in this case, same thing. 99% of dating advice miss this one thing. Like, read this to land, I was going to say to land a client. Read this to get a date in the next 7 days. Read this to land a 10 in the next 7 days. Like, tell people the clear outcome. And whenever you do outcome-based, always think outcome-based copywriting. Always think outcome-based, not just benefit, not just up your dating skills, attract more women. These are benefits. These are actually not the deepest thing. Benefits are good, right? But the outcome, what is the outcome and the transformation? Think like that as a copywriter. What is the thing they actually want? The end of the day. It's not just to attract women. They want to get on that date, right? That's the outcome in this case. So talk about outcome-based copy. And if you can attach a time frame to it, put in a time frame. Instead of saying, read this to land your next date, read this to like get on a date with a 10. If you take that same thing and add a time frame that's fast, you're going to get more people interested, because we don't know what that means. Get your first date this year, next year, in 5 months, when? But you tell me I'm going to get my next date in the next 30 days. Whoa, now I can see that this is like happening soon. In the next 7 days, my goodness. In the next 24 hours, the more you ramp this up, the more you're going to get people hooked into this. So I hope that makes sense with the hook thing and your headline. Your headline's pretty decent. Add a little bit more to that, and you're going to take this to the next level. So that's the headline. We're going to get right into the body copy here. You can have a perfect text game, shredded body, witty banner, high sass, and still watch women pull away without warning. No fights, no reason, just gone. Why? Because you know. Okay, so I feel like you're starting your piece of copy part way through. What I think is missing from your intro here is like the lead in. So you caught me in the headline, 99% of dating advice misses one thing. I'm saying let's add in more like, here's how to get your first date in the next 7 days or whatever. I want you to start this piece of copy introducing, if you're ever unsure, just open up with their problem. Like call out the exact pain point or want or need or desire that they're dealing with right now. Right here, you're talking about like, you know, getting into being relatable with their situation, but go directly to their want or directly to their pain point right at the beginning to make sure you don't miss it. It helps hook them even more to read that next line of copy. So literally just say, hey, are you struggling to get it on a date? Like, just say it. Are you struggling to get on a date? Like, are you like frustrated that all these other dudes are getting all these dates, but not you? Say that stuff first. Go into the pain point or the want or the desire, then go into this. Well, say, well, you can have the perfect text game, a shredded body, witty banter, and high status, and still watch women pull away without warning. No fights, no reason, just gone. This copy looks pretty solid, but you need a little bit more of a lead in right before this. Go right into the pain point or right into their want. Just call out. You try to get a first date. Listen, anybody who goes and clicks on a headline or reads a sales page or an email that says 99% of dating advice means this one thing, and here's how to get your first date in the next 7 days with a 10. Anybody who clicks that or starts reading, guess what? They want to get on a date and they're struggling to get on dates. So just call that out. You want to resonate with your reader. The more you can get micro agreements, yes, that's me, yes, that's me, yes, that's me. By the time you say, do you want to buy this thing to get that transformation? They're in the yes mode already. They're more likely to say yes and pull out the credit card and buy. So get them saying yes right out of the gate and build that connection. It helps engage them more. So I like your copy here though. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty relatable. I would even say something you could add to here is like, you can have like even a ton of money and it's still not going to work. Like you could be like loaded and girls could know you have money. Like talk about, because that's something people are often thinking about, and tell people like, hey, like if you're poor, like you're not going to attract a good date or whatever. Like I would even add that in as an example here. You can have the perfect text game, shredded body, witty banter, and high stats, and still watch women pull away without warning. No fights, no reason, just gone. Why? I would say here, like for your spacing, I would do a space after this. So just like visually for your copy, put and still in its own paragraph, stuff like that. So, and then same as this, why? Put this on its own paragraph and then go below. So, by the way, if you guys have any comments about like even the feedback I'm giving right now, hey, why did you say this? Hey, why did you say that? Hey, what about this? Go ahead and put it in the comments too. Or just keep sending me your copy. But yeah, I got to head out in a couple minutes. So I'll try to wrap this up. I don't think I'll be able to get through the whole thing because I want to go through Steven's as well. But these are just a couple things right out of the gate. Again, the beginning of your copy is so crucial to get right. Your headline, your lead in, how you hook people in the body and get people through the first few lines, crucial. So, but overall, the copy here is looking pretty decent. She's not responding to your behavior, she's responding to your energy. Interesting. I would put this right here on its own line because you're talking about the big idea of your copy now. It's about your energy. So put this, I would even probably bold this line. Put this on its own paragraph and bold it. She can feel it instantly. Are you grounded in who you are or performing to win her approval? Nice. If your frame was weak, no script will save you, no strategy will mask it. I would even say like, and women can smell through fake confidence in a second. I would say that as a one-liner here. Most men chase the how, what to say, how to act, when to text. By the way, when you have a rule of 3, like this is fine to write it out like this every now and then, but throw in some bullet points. Like literally just to break up your copy a bit more. Because right now, this is reading like poetry for weird, whatever reason. You ideally, like it's good that your sentences are short and sweet, but you actually do want to mix up the way you write. So you want short sentences like this, but you also want longer lines like this and one-liners like this. That's fine. You're having too many short sentences here though. It looks like poetry and it looks like you used AI to write this. So don't make this look like a poem. If you got AI to do this for you, you need to switch things up here. You need to add in longer sentences, longer paragraphs. Yours are way too short overall. And also throw in some bullet points, mix up the visuals of your copy or throw in some sub-headlines just to break things up a bit. One easy way to do that is right here. Most men chase the how. You have a colon here. Right here, do this as bullet points. Bullet point 1, what to say. Bullet point 2, how to act. Bullet point 3, when to text. So that's all my advice for now. That's all I'm going to say because I just have a few minutes left, so I'm going to get to the next piece of copy. But make all those updates, and this one is good to go. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. Okay, Steven says, glad I caught you. I'm moving my desktop PC today. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got a couple minutes. I got maybe like 2 minutes to cover this, and then I got to head out. But okay, Steven, awesome. So what do we got here? So this is a marketing email for Jurassic Elementary. What is Jurassic Elementary? Okay, so the goal for this copy is convince teachers to register their class for a field trip to Jurassic Elementary, an interactive and educational exhibit experience. Is this a real thing? Because that sounds pretty cool. Or is this just made up? I don't know. Either way, so convince teachers to register their class for a field trip to this place, interactive educational exhibit. Cool. So your audience is teachers. You want to get them to go to this place for a field trip. Headlines. So we didn't specify the type of copy. Header, subject line. You put subject line here, so that's what you would do if this was an email. But let's get into your headlines as an example here. Bring the children of the future. Bring the children of the future to dig for treasures of the past. That's kind of cool. I like that, the yin-yang kind of thing there. Be the hero of the classroom after the dust settles. Take them on a real-life Minecraft experience. That's kind of interesting. Good job. Whenever you can use comparisons like Steven did here, of like, this is like the Uber of whatever. This is like the Minecraft of like field trips. This is a really good thing to do in your copy. So good job here. Let their sparks of curiosity ignite a flame for discovery. A special offer to guarantee you win Teacher of the Year. That is actually probably, I think, the juiciest headline, because you're tapping into the. It's not about the kids here. It's about the teacher. You told me you're here to convince teachers. So what would make a teacher be like, yeah, 100% we're doing this? Maybe some pride. Maybe some they want to win. Maybe they want to be seen as special. Maybe you wanted to get a promotion. To guarantee you win Teacher of the Year, this seems the most enticing to me. A special offer to guarantee you win Teacher of the Year. That sounds like one thing to keep in mind with headlines. Don't use periods. Get rid of all the periods, otherwise known as a full stop. It makes you want to stop reading. Doesn't matter if it's a subject line or a headline. Get the period out of there. Okay, so a special offer to guarantee. You chose the right header. That's the one I'd say is the best. Enroll your students in a hands-on learning experience they'll never forget. The header for an email is the subject line. So this would actually be the subject line number 1, and then this could be the preview text. What I'll say though is if you're going to use this as the subject line and this is the preview text, they're too long. It's going to get cut off on desktop even, where it's going to turn into ellipses, ... So you're not going to see Teacher of the Year. I would just say, like, get rid of this. Just say guarantee that you win Teacher of the Year in 2025 or 2026. That's probably just about short enough that it's going to fit on desktop and mobile. But if you do too long of a subject line, it will literally just get cut off because there's not enough pixels on the screen. And then for the preview text, Jurassic Elementary, the title sounds intriguing enough that I would probably want to use that in the preview text. Enroll your students in Jurassic Elementary today. Like, I would just say something like that. Okay, so body copy. Okay, right out of the gate, remember that feeling of novelty. First 3 lines of your copy, any kind of copy, sales page, ad, email, doesn't matter what it is. Always try to keep your first 3 lines specifically as short as possible. Remember, we want to get people down the slippery slope. One of the best ways to do that is with a really strong headline, a strong hook, a strong lead-in. But it's not just about how well we hook them and connect and resonate with them. It's also how easy this thing looks like to read. If somebody opens up a whatever email, sales page, ad, and it looks like work, they're out. They're bouncing. Doesn't matter if it's a teacher. They're done. Move on to the next. Microwave generation, TikTok, scroll to the next, swipe right. Like, they're done. You need to make it stupidly simple and easy to read those first 3 lines so that by the time they get to line 4, they're in and they're reading all the way. So yes, you need to hook them, tap into their desires, tap into all these things, and hook them with benefits and all these wonderful copy elements you know how to use. But you also need to hook them with how the easeability, the readability of your copy for those first 3 lines. So make this shorter. So body, remember that feeling of novelty when you felt a special rock as a child? What if you could bring that experience to an entire classroom? You know what I would do actually here with your copy? I would actually tap into the win the Teacher of the Year thing right out of the gate. Like, I would just be like, hey, do you want to win Teacher of the Year this year? Like, do you want to actually stand out by creating the best experience possible? Like, do you want to win Teacher of the Year? Like, Imagine like walking up to the podium and like taking your award. How is this possible? Like short sentence, short sentence, short sentence. Well, Jurassic Elementary is coming to your town or something. What exactly is this? And then go into it. Well, do you remember that feeling of novelty when you found a special rock as a child? Go do longer sentences at this point. If you want to do a long sentence like this, fine by me. Then go into that. Well, what if you could bring that to your entire classroom? The Jurassic Elementary is an adventure like unlike any other. And go into the rest of this. Fuel guided by certified quality acquisition. Awesome. Your students will get an unforgettable chance to dig for geodes and replica fossils, learning through a truly immersive and engaging experience. Our newly built dust dome features these state-of-the-art technologies, such as, don't use the word such as, it sounds very formal. I would just say our newly built dust dome includes state-of-the-art technologies, right there. And then when you do bullet points, don't do hyphens, they're harder to read, do actual bullet points. Animated videos of realistic dinosaurs. Recreated animal and dinosaur sounds, bright overhead and ambient lighting, climate-controlled air conditioning. That's great. You gave me a bunch of features. Now I want to see the benefits for these. If you're ever unsure, somebody's always going to say, when they read a feature, so what? Whenever someone's reading animated videos of realistic dinosaurs, so what? I can go watch, like, I don't know, what's it called? Littlefoot or something? Like dinosaur show on Netflix. Animated videos of realistic dinosaurs that, like, are full, like, that bring them to life and have your kids, like, you know, which is better, or you could say, like, which is better than any movie theater experience. Recreated animal and dinosaur sounds that, like, I don't know, like, that bring these prehistoric sounds to life for your little ones to keep them engaged all the way. Bright overhead and ambient lighting. I don't know what you'd say for the benefit there. You'd have to come up with something that's, I don't even know. I'd probably pick a different feature, to be completely honest with you. This one, though, that one's one of the best ones on here for features. It's climate-controlled air conditioning. So your kids stay happy. So you and your kids stay happy the entire time. So you and your students stay happy and comfortable the entire journey, right? Nobody wants to be in some sweaty mess and like, oh, this is fun, but we're all hot and sweaty. So talk about that. Talk about what's the benefit there. So whenever you're unsure about, did I talk about the benefits? Once you have a feature, say, so what? Because that's what they're asking. Climate-controlled air conditioning, so what? So your kids aren't screaming in a hot mess for the whole adventure. Or you could talk about the positive. So you and your students are comfortable the entire trip, right? Feature, benefit, feature, benefit. And we packed it full of treasure for everyone to have a chance at discovery. CTAs register within the first month of the school year for 30% off at checkout. Make memories with your students that they'll be talking about for millions of years. Awesome. That's really cool. This is really an intriguing piece of copy. I think you did a great job overall with your flow. A couple things I'd say at the end here is like give me an exact date. Instead of saying register within the first month of the school year, like, dude, if you're sending this email right now, register today. Register now with our early bird discount for 30% off. Price is going up in next week, so like book your students in today. Put in some real urgency here with a time to deadline. Not within the first month of school, say within a week, within 24/7 or 24 hours, within 2 weeks. Like, register today because price is going up. Right now, you can get an early bird discount of 30% off. In a few weeks, that's going up, so get it today. And then pull off of scarcity. We only have limited time slots for each school to come book in. So don't wait for everybody else to book up the best times. Book your school in now so you don't lose a slot. So pull on urgency and scarcity however you can. One more thing you should add to this, however you can, social proof. It's one thing that's missing here that's crucial. How fun is this place actually? I don't know. There's not much proof of this other than what you're telling me it is. But all of these things you've said so far are all claims until you back it up with proof. How can you do that? Easiest thing in the world, testimonials. Do a PS here. PS, hear from some of our, like, hear from a few other teachers of the year. Like, that would be cool if you could say that. But at the very least, hear from some teachers who took their students here last year. Testimonial, 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 and give the call to action again, like, register today for 30% off at the early bird discount. That's how I'd close out this piece of copy. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments now, but I'm going to be heading out right now. Yeah. So any questions, any final questions before I head off? Hopefully that helped you. I'm going to take this on the screen. Hopefully that helps Steven and everybody else I did copy reviews for, just to help see beyond what you're seeing in your copy, to see like how to structure your copy better, how to make it flow better, how to include certain elements like scarcity, urgency, social proof, how to hook people better, how to add a better headline. You work on these little things like with each piece of copy, like, oh shoot, I didn't add social proof for this piece of copy. Make sure for your next piece of copy, add social proof. Like follow a checklist. If you have my course, by the way, if you want super stupidly simple copy, if you want to learn how to write copy really, really easily, get my 30-day copywriter course. It's only $22. It comes with a 365-day money-back guarantee. It's at the link in bio from wherever you are right now on socials. Click that link. I include a bonus copy checklist. So every time you write a piece of copy, whether it's a sales page or an ad or an email, those little things like, oh, I didn't add urgency or scarcity or social proof or like my call to action or whatever, I literally have a checklist you can go through. Boom, 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 of everything you need to include in every piece of copy, no matter the format. So you never miss those little things like FOMO, urgency, scarcity, social proof, authority, a clean call to action, a good headline, a hook, features, benefits, that kind of stuff. So that's a bonus in the course. $22, get it at link in bio. We're going to go, there's 2 more questions here before I sign off quickly, but I do got to head out. Janet, you ask, how many types of copywriting do we have? Please explain. Hundreds. Copywriting is everywhere you look. Copywriting is when you go onto YouTube and there's an ad that pops up. Copywriting is a Facebook and Instagram ad when you're scrolling. Copywriting is a TV commercial. Copywriting is an email. It's an advertisement. It's a sales page. It's a billboard. It's those billboards on the highway when you're going by. Copywriting is a YouTube script. You could even argue that it is a blog post or social media. Every kind of writing that a business puts out there is copywriting. Any kind of writing that a business uses to persuade people to follow them, to buy from them, to engage with them, and to purchase their products or services. The people who write those words are copywriters. Those words are copy. So what are the most common types of copy I recommend you go in as a digital copywriter, as a freelance copywriter in 2025? Emails, sales pages, or ads. Those are the 3 best that I would recommend. If you're unsure of where to start, pick one of those ads, like Facebook or Instagram ads, sales pages, or emails. Pick one of those 3 and just practice that and get good at that and specialize into one of those things and focus on that, write that every day, and outreach using that. That's what I recommend. Ronnie asks, how do you create big ideas fast so you can make multiple emails without looking at a blank page? Don't worry too much about the big idea of your copy. Like, especially with something like emails, like a sales page you might write like once every 6 months or every year. Like, yes, you want to optimize an A/B test and stuff like that, but like you're going to be writing like a sales page and move on to the next client and so and so. With emails, you're doing deliverable copy. So what that means is you're going to be doing new emails every week, like multiple emails, multiple pieces of copy, lots of different pieces of copy. Don't worry too much about the big idea of your email and get too fancy or unique. You don't need to woo-woo come up with the next big crazy thing with every piece of copy. You just need to follow stupidly simple frameworks that work every time. Problem, agitate, solution. When you know your reader and who the audience is inside and out, it's very easy, once you know what their pain points are, to talk with them and give them a solution. If you aren't sure about PAS, go follow ADA, attention, interest, desire, action. Just follow core copy frameworks, do the stupid, simple, boring copy thing, and your big ideas and unique woo-woo, those will come later. What's most important is to follow proven, scientifically structured copy. Copy is so logical. It follows very specific frameworks to hook people, to tap into their psyche, to get into their hearts and their emotional and feely goods, to open them up to pull out their credit card and buy. So you learn consumer psychology. You don't need to always come up with a big idea to get people. If someone wants to lose weight and they're a dude in their 30s, hint hint me, I'm my own audience here, and I go see, and I want to lose weight, and I'm working on that right now. Lost 8 pounds in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, so I'm on a journey. Still working on it. If I see an email, it's like, here's how to lose 7 pounds in the next 7 days. Like, I'm going to open that email. Why? Because I care about it. Does it need to have some huge woo-woo idea in the next blueprint system, whatever? No. I just want to lose weight. So if somebody says, hey, are you a dude in your 30s? You're like fat and overweight. Hey, here's how to lose 7 pounds in the next 7 days. Here's your problem. Do you want this outcome? Yes, I do. Okay, click. Like, you don't have to be too crazy. And if you're struggling, okay, so you're saying struggling to come up with ideas and angles, so easy. Go whatever your niche is. If you're going after fitness coaches, we're on that track. Go look at every fitness coach, the top 100 fitness coaches on the internet right now. The biggest dogs, I don't care who they are. Go sign up to every single one of their email lists. I have a YouTube video that's literally how to create an email swipe file so you never run out of email ideas again. Go sign up to every single one of their emails. 100 email lists of the top fitness coaches, if that's your niche. Whatever your niche is, sign up to the top 50 or 100. Get on all their email lists and put them into a specific folder in Gmail. So when those emails come in, they're skip the inbox, go right into your folder. You open that folder every day, you're going to have 20 to 30 new email ideas every day. You don't have to reinvent the wheel as a copywriter. Just go look at what works and go do something new. For example, here is one way. I'm not saying copy paste emails, by the way. I'm not saying steal people's ideas, but steal frameworks, steal angles. For example, if I am serving a weight loss coach, okay, just like the example I gave, if my client's a weight loss coach for men, and I'm signed up to fitness coaches, and I see an email, it's like, here's how to gain 7 pounds of muscle in the next 7 days, which I have no idea if that's possible. Like, I'm not a fitness expert. But let's just say his email subject line is, here's how to gain 7 pounds of muscle in the next 7 days. And I'm like, oh, that's intriguing. And it makes me want to click open, and I open that email. Okay, now how can I apply that angle to this email, or that hook or that subject line to my client's copy? Well, maybe instead of talking about muscles, because my client's about weight loss, instead of saying how to gain 7 pounds of muscle in 7 days, I'm going to make an email today called here's how to lose 7 pounds of fat in 7 days. So this is called swiping. You're taking the idea, you're taking the concept, and you're swiping it and applying it to your own copy. Did I steal their copy? Absolutely not. Did I look at the angle that hooked me naturally and apply it to my business, tweaked it for my client? Yes, I did. Is it going to work? Absolutely. Because if that hooked me, this is going to hook my audience. Helping men who are skinny, fat, melt fat, and build muscle in under 90 days. Yeah, go 100%. Whoever is the most, look at all of your clients' competitors. Sign up to all of their lists. Look at the top dogs in the space. Sign up to all of their email lists. Get on all their lists. Put them into a swipe file folder. Go to my YouTube to look at email swipe file to never run out of ideas. I show you how to create a folder. So you sign up to these lists. It automatically skips your primary inbox, so it's not a mess. Goes into one designated swipe file folder. So anytime you're like, I just need an idea for an email, just click open and scroll and see what hooks you and what makes you want to open an email up. And then take those concepts and apply them to your stuff. And if you're still not sure, make sure you're following frameworks, PAS, ADA, and understand your audience. And you're going to see over and over again, what works with people. So anyways, hope that helps. I gotta sign off here. I'm heading out, but any other questions, hit me up in the DMs, and maybe we'll do this again sometime. This is fun. So peace out, everybody. Hope you have a great night.